Shocking confession from the woman behind Yu Menglong's brutal death sparks public outrage. K-drama Haven family. The entertainment world had barely recovered from the heartbreak of losing Yu Menglong when the unthinkable happened. For weeks, his death was cloaked in mystery. Was it an accident? Was it fate? Or was there something far more sinister at play? And now, the truth has exploded across headlines, shaking fans to their very core. Hold on tight, K-drama Haven family, because this journey is only just beginning. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The revelations, the emotions, the moments that will change everything. Because a woman, a figure long hidden in the shadows of this tragedy, has stepped forward, and her confession has stunned the world. The details are chilling. Authorities had quietly pursued investigations behind the scenes. Rumors had swirled, whispers of strange behavior before the fall, inconsistencies in the accounts given by witnesses. Still, the public clung to hope that Yu Menglong's passing was a tragic accident, not a crime. But in a press conference that stunned the nation, police revealed that the woman at the center of the case had finally confessed. Her words, trembling, broken, yet undeniable, spilled into the microphones. She admitted her involvement. She admitted to actions that directly led to Yu Menglong's brutal death. The hall gasped. Reporters scrambled. Social media erupted like wildfire. Fans who had been grieving quietly now felt their sorrow ignite into outrage. Thousands flooded comment sections, demanding justice. Hashtags surged to the top of global trends. How could someone do this? He was so kind, so pure. And this is how his life was taken? Justice for Yu Menglong. The confession was more than just a statement. It was an earthquake, because it shattered the fragile illusion of peace surrounding his death. It replaced mourning with fury. It replaced questions with accusations. And it left fans with an unbearable truth, that Yu Menglong had not simply been lost to fate, but stolen by human cruelty. Outside police stations, crowds began to gather. Many carried photos of Yu Menglong, their tears now burning with anger. Others held signs demanding the maximum sentence, chanting his name in unison as if to remind the world that this was not just another celebrity scandal. This was a life cut short. Inside the entertainment industry, the shock was just as severe. Actors who once stood beside Yu Menglong in dramas spoke out, their voices trembling with rage. Directors released statements mourning not only the man they had loved working with, but condemning the betrayal that had robbed him of his future. And behind the closed doors of studios, whispers grew louder. If Yu Menglong could fall to such violence, could anyone be safe? The woman's motives, the reasons behind her actions, remain a subject of heated speculation. Was it jealousy? Was it desperation? Was it something darker, something deeper? Investigators have promised that every detail will come to light in court. But for fans, for the millions who adored Yu Menglong's gentle spirit, no reason could ever justify what was confessed. Public outrage has reached a boiling point. Protests are spreading across cities. Online petitions demanding justice have gathered millions of signatures within hours. News anchors speak of little else. And through it all, one name is repeated over and over again. Yu Menglong, the man whose smile brought comfort, the actor whose roles touched hearts, the friend whose colleagues describe as impossible not to love. Her voice was low, shaking with fear, but the weight of her confession was undeniable. She described moments that investigators had long suspected but never confirmed. Moments that painted the tragedy not as chance, not as accident, but as a deliberate act of betrayal. She admitted her role. She admitted her choices. And as her words spilled out, the cameras flashed, journalists gasped, and the world's faith in humanity cracked just a little more. But the most haunting detail was this. She spoke of regret. regret for what had been done, regret for the life that had been taken. And yet, for the millions who adored Yu Menglong, regret was not enough. The reaction was instant. Outside the courthouse, where her confession was later repeated before officials, the crowd swelled into thousands. Fans held candles, but this time, they were not symbols of gentle mourning. They were symbols of fury. Placards read, "Justice for Menglong." His life mattered. No forgiveness for cruelty. Chants thundered through the streets. It was no longer just grief. It was outrage. And across the internet, the reaction was explosive. Weibo, Twitter, Instagram. Every corner of social media erupted. Hashtags surged into global trends within hours. Millions of fans from every corner of the world demanded accountability. Others shared videos of Yu Menglong laughing, smiling, performing. Clips that now felt like treasures stolen too soon. Comments flooded timelines. He deserved the world, not this ending. How could someone destroy such a pure soul? Yu Menglong's light will outshine this darkness. But even as fans mourned and raged, something else was happening. The entertainment industry itself was shaken to its core. Actors, singers, directors, figures once silent in their grief, now raised their voices. Song Hye-kyo, who had escorted Yu Menglong's casket with her own trembling hands, released a powerful statement. The truth is out. His death was not fate, but cruelty. I will not be silent until justice is done. Lee Min-ho followed with words that spread across every major news outlet. No apology, no confession can erase what was done. The world has lost an artist, a friend, a soul too kind for this tragedy. We demand justice, not excuses. And Ji Chang-wook, who had been holding his grief close, broke his silence on live television. His voice trembled, his eyes wet with fury. She confessed. That should end all doubt. He deserves peace. His family deserves peace. This cannot be forgiven. The reaction from within the industry turned the confession into something more powerful. It was no longer just an investigation. It became a movement. Production companies pledged to support Yu Menglong's family. Agencies began lobbying for harsher penalties against those who commit violence against public figures. Fan clubs, once separated by borders and languages, united into global coalitions demanding accountability. And yet, amidst the storm of anger, the tragedy grew heavier still, because fans realized something chilling. If Yu Menglong's death was the result of deliberate cruelty, then his final moments were not those of a man lost to fate, but of a victim betrayed. That thought alone broke hearts all over again. Memorial sites across Asia grew larger by the hour. Mountains of flowers, rivers of tears, skies lit by thousands of candles. But in those flames, something new was born. A promise. Fans promised never to let Yu Menglong's name be forgotten. Friends in the industry promised to keep his memory alive in their art. And across the world, millions whispered the same vow. We will fight for you. We will not stop until justice is done. K-drama Haven family. This confession was shocking. It was brutal. It tore open wounds that had barely begun to heal. But it also gave us clarity. It gave us a target for our outrage. And it reminded us that while evil may steal a life, it can never erase a legacy. Yu Menglong's light continues to shine. In the voices of his fans. In the fury of his friends. In the unity of a world that refuses to let him fade into silence. And though the woman behind his death may have confessed, her words will never outweigh the truth the world already knows. That Yu Menglong was love. That Yu Menglong was kindness. That Yu Menglong will forever be remembered. Not as a victim of cruelty, but as a star whose light was stolen too soon, and whose legacy will burn brighter than ever. This, K-drama Haven family, is not the end of his story. This is the beginning of justice.